What's going on, everyone? Harris Rubenstein here for Chat Sports, bringing you another great episode of NBA Now. The Lakers are always a topic of conversation here at Chat Sports, but one of the biggest headlines of the season has been one Luke Walton, who has not impressed the Lakers front office so far through this season and has not impressed the fan base either. So it's time to start wondering who the Lakers could hire if Walton ends up getting canned. Now, we know that Magic Johnson apparently wants him gone. Not really a big surprise. He's wanted to fire him and put in his own coach since he took over as president. But if Luke Walton and the Lakers do not make the playoffs this year, it is very likely that the team will move on from Walton and onto another coach. So we put together 10 names that we think the fan base should have on their mind if Luke Walton ends up getting canned. So without further ado, let's get to number 10. And how about Magic Johnson himself? Now, he was not a great head coach when he started with the Lakers the first time, only went 5-11 before getting fired. But he could end up getting fed up and just coach this team himself. I'd wonder if the ego of Magic Johnson would love to just step in and be like, I'm the coach now, and gets to coach LeBron and the young kids, maybe Anthony Davis, and come along for the ride. Now again, like I said before, his first kind of go around with coaching did not go all that well, but if we're talking about basketball acumen and leadership qualities, there are very few people in NBA history who have the background that Magic Johnson does to be a great NBA head coach. He has done it once before, like I said, it failed. But you had LeBron, you had the youngsters, maybe you had Anthony Davis to the list as well, and hell, maybe anyone could be a great head coach with those circumstances. And I guess he can't really fire himself, so he just have full autonomous power over the entire team. Let me know in the comment section below, would Magic Johnson try to coach LeBron? I say yes. I think his ego would totally be all for trying to be the head coach behind LeBron's great success with the Lakers. But as of right now, he's number 10 on our list for a reason. We got to include him at number 9. It is John Calipari. It's extremely unlikely that Calipari ever comes back to the NBA, but if there's anyone who could pull him from Kentucky, wouldn't it be LeBron James? I think so. Calipari would certainly help recruit free agents as well, seeing as almost half of the best players in the NBA right now came from Kentucky under his system. I also wonder if the Lakers were able to pull him from Kentucky, if they would be able to get Derrick Rose to sign with the Lakers this offseason. Obviously, he was his head coach when D. Rose was at Memphis, but he has a lot of experience in the NBA. Obviously coached the Nets for a while, was an assistant for the 76ers, so Calipari at this time is not likely to come to the NBA, but hey, if there's anyone who's going to take him away from college, LeBron is probably one of the top candidates to be able, to make him make the jump one more time. Let's talk about Coach K. Obviously, you know him as that, but Mike Krzyzewski, the latter name for him. Look, his college record is the best of all time. 1,118 wins to 340 losses, the best winning percentage of any coach in college history. Not to mention, he's one of the coaches for USA Basketball, so he has a lot of relationships with players already inside the NBA. We know that him and LeBron are quite close. They've asked LeBron about Coach K multiple times, and he has nothing but great things to say. But again, is there an NBA team, player, executive, anyone out there that could pull Coach K from Duke? We here at Chat Sports say no. We think that Coach K is going to stay at Duke forever and ever and ever until he inevitably decides to retire. He does look good going on the age of 70, though. I will say, good for you, Coach K. But with the teams that he's been able to create the past couple of years, the team he has now with Zion and RJ Barrett and Cam Reddish, all these great players, he's certainly going to be able to keep Duke at the top of their game for years to come. Let me know in the comment section below, will Coach K ever come to the NBA? I say no, and I hope not. I hope he stays at Duke forever and ever. It's really fun to see Coach K develop these guys at Duke and then continue to develop professional relationships with them with USA Basketball. He's still very close with the likes of Kyrie Irving and JJ Redick and a lot of the other great Duke players that have come into the NBA. So I think he likes that relationship, and I think he likes the kind of situation he has right now with a lot of his guys in the NBA. Let's jump into a couple former NBA coaches. Stan Van Gundy certainly has to be on anyone's list in terms of high-profile NBA coaching jobs. He did just get fired by Detroit, mostly because his style is pretty old. He primarily runs a pretty strict pick and roll offensive system that is a little bit behind the times in terms of where the NBA is right now in pick and roll. The Lakers themselves, in terms of a franchise, are right smack dab in the middle of the NBA in pick and roll efficiency at 15th overall. But I wonder if he would fit in with LeBron and with the rest of the shooters that they have on this team. He has not been a successful head coach since his time with the Orlando Magic. His time with Detroit was a huge bust, and I wonder if a team like the Lakers would even give him a chance with LeBron James. So Stan Van Gundy has to be included, but again, he's at number 7 for a pretty specific reason. Let's go to number 6, Tom Thibodeau. Again, also a coach that just got fired, but one of the best defensive coaches in the NBA, and also one of the best coaches in terms of handling veterans. Now, 2 of his teams have been ripped apart by Jimmy Butler. Lucky for him, Jimmy Butler is going to be nowhere near the Los Angeles Lakers for the next couple of seasons. But Tom Thibodeau is one of the best defensive minds that we have had of any coach in the NBA for a very long time. He did it with the Bulls, he did it with the T-Wolves, was one of the big minds behind the Celtics run with the Big Three defensively. And I just wonder, I think it'd be a pretty good idea to bring him over to the Lakers. Obviously, we know that they are in the process of shipping out a lot of their young guys to bring in some veterans. And I think with the likes of an Anthony Davis and a LeBron James, a Rondo, I think Tom Thibodeau could be a good fit for the Lakers franchise in general. It really matters if the Lakers want to go old, do they want to go young on their coaches, do they want a new system, an old system. How Magic Johnson wants to play this will really end up determining which direction they go with coaches, but Tom Thibodeau is certainly one of those directions, especially with how much success he has had at the NBA level. If you guys want to make some money this year on the NBA or even on Super Bowl Sunday, head to chatsports.com/bet to use BetDSI today. Use that promo code NBA120 for a 120% deposit bonus. What is a 120% deposit bonus? It's easy as this. You deposit $100, you use that promo code, and you get $120 for free. It is the best deal that you will find anywhere on the internet. Again, chatsports.com/bet. Use that promo code NBA120. All right, let's jump into the top 5 for our top 10 coaches the Lakers could hire if they fire Luke Walton. How about Tyronn Lue? Again, another coach that just got fired this year after a rough couple of games. Yes, a couple of games with the Cavs to start the year. He definitely deserves a second NBA job. I know that LeBron carried him to those finals and obviously the victory as well, but he did a good enough job with a veteran team with a lot of expectations on them and did get them to the finals 3 years in a row. Again, I understand that he had LeBron, and I understand that LeBron carried that entire team basically by himself. But Tyronn Lue did enough as the coach of the Cavs with LeBron to deserve another NBA coaching job. Whether it's with the Lakers remains to be seen. I don't know if LeBron would want to have him as a coach again in Los Angeles, but regardless of where he ends up going, Tyronn Lue is going to end up with another job in the league. It just determines if that's going to be with LeBron and the Lakers in LA. But the good news about Tyronn Lue is that he did not get put on the dreaded list of coaches that were fired under LeBron James. And it's not the best looking list, I'll tell you that much. Paul Silas and Brendan Malone were likely going to get fired anyway with or without LeBron. Mike Brown got fired after not making the finals 2 years in a row, even though they had 60-win seasons in each of those years. And of course, we all remember the David Blatt situation that got Tyronn Lue to the Cavs in the first place. Shout out to you, David Blatt. You've since you've since continued your legacy as one of the great international coaches in the history of basketball. So shout out to you, David Blatt. Good on you for not letting LeBron completely destroy your coaching career. Let's go to number 4, Juwan Howard. So the only coach on our list with no NBA head coaching experience. The only thing he does bring to the table, and I say the only thing, is 19 years of NBA experience playing in the league. He has over 6 years as well of NBA assistant coach experience. He's been with the Heat ever since he retired. Won 2 championships with the Heat, one with LeBron, and obviously the one without it when he was playing with D. Wade a couple years earlier. But Juwan Howard has been a guy that a lot of teams have explored hiring him as a head coach, whether it was him or a Penny Hardaway. A lot of these old great players from the 90s and early 2000s are starting to get looks for head coaching jobs. Jerry Stackhouse is another guy on that list. But Juwan Howard and his relationship and experience with LeBron James puts him on our list pretty high up there too. If the Lakers wanted to go young and get another Eric Spoelstra / Pat Riley disciple, Juwan Howard could be a perfect guy for LeBron and the Lakers. Let's talk about Mike Brown. I know he was on our list of coaches that LeBron got fired, but he's still one of the best coaches in the NBA, and he's going to get another NBA job, whether it's this year or maybe at the end of next season. Maybe a LeBron reunion could be the next place for him. But like I said before, one of the best assistant coaches in the sport, was a pretty good head coach when he was with the Cleveland Cavaliers and LeBron James. Like I said, he did end up becoming one of the only coaches ever to lead a team to back-to-back 60-plus win seasons and not make it to an NBA Finals in either of those years. Obviously, he had the weird couple of years of the Lakers as well a couple seasons ago, so I know that Lakers fans might be a little hesitant to bring Mike Brown back in, but coaching LeBron James is a very specific job, and you can make an argument that nobody did it better than Mike Brown despite getting fired. So let me know in the comment section below, how mad would you be if the Lakers rehired Mike Brown? If I was a Lakers fan, I would also be pretty pissed, just because we already went through the whole Mike Brown experiment back with Kobe, and it blew up in the team's faces, and they never really recovered from a coaching standpoint after that. So we'll see what happens with the Lakers and Mike Brown. He's going to get another job. It just really determines whether or not it's with LA. Let's go to number 2, and this is my favorite guy on the list. Not in terms of someone who I think is going to get hired. I don't think Mark Jackson's a very good head coach, but there's one reason, and one reason only, why he is so high on our list. You see that third line on our screen? Oh yeah, he's a client of Clutch Sports, also known as the agency that reps LeBron James, Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, and Anthony Davis, along with a myriad of other NBA players. If you are signed by Clutch Sports, you are an instant candidate to join the Los Angeles Lakers within the next 3 seasons. Mark Jackson is absolutely a guy who they would look to hire just because he's a client of Clutch Sports. If you think I'm kidding, I'm not. I'm serious. There's a real chance that Mark Jackson gets brought to the Lakers as their head coach due to his relationship with LeBron James and the agency. I don't think Mark Jackson is a very good head coach. I know he did very good things a couple of years with the Warriors. You know, they had a couple great seasons with him, but he really clashed with management for 3 consecutive seasons while he was the head coach and got fired because, frankly, he was just such a problem with the front office that they had to fire him and bring in Steve Kerr. And obviously, since they brought in Kerr, the Warriors have been the best team, or maybe gone on the best run of any NBA team ever. So Mark Jackson is certainly a candidate for the Lakers head coaching job, and him being a client of Clutch Sports, well, that's just the cherry on top of the Lakers Sunday, isn't it? If you guys want to make some money on the NBA this year, there's only one place to do it, and that's with BetDSI. Head to chatsports.com/bet. Use that promo code NBA120 for a 120% deposit bonus. I made some good money on BetDSI this year. I'm pocketing a sweet $350 from a couple nice bets that I made on some parlays earlier in the year. You can make that much and even more if you head to BetDSI today. One more time, chatsports.com/bet. Use that promo code NBA120. Let's get to our number 1 player that the Lakers could hire. And how about Jay Wright, the head coach for Villanova? Now, he has had NBA eyes on him for years. He has helped turn Villanova into one of the best college basketball programs that we have in the nation right now. I think he could end up being a Brad Stevens-like character for the Lakers. We know that a lot of coaches that have come from college have failed. But as pointed out to me by Brett Scott, our producer, multiple coaches who have grown their programs into quote-unquote blue bloods, have ended up having some good success in the NBA. Brad Stevens, probably the most recent example. Billy Donovan did well with Florida. Fred Hoiberg has not seen the similar NBA success to the rest of those guys, but there are rumors that he's going to end up with another NBA coaching job, maybe with the Timberwolves or another team that we'll see this offseason. But Jay Wright could be another guy in that line of coaches that have grown their college programs and made a jump to the NBA. Not to mention, one advantage that he has over a lot of other college coaches, Jay Wright has a big-time relationship with a lot of NBA players, seeing he's as an assistant coach for USA Basketball under both Greg Popovich and Mike Krzyzewski. He has relationships with LeBron James and plenty of other NBA players. Not to mention, he has a current Villanova alumni on the Lakers in Josh Hart. So there is a connection there between Villanova and the Lakers, and I just wonder if Jay Wright would be willing to make the jump from Villanova if LeBron James is involved. So let me know in the comment section below, who should the Lakers hire if Luke Walton gets canned? I say Jay Wright. I think he'd be a fantastic pick for any NBA team looking for a new head coach. It's just a real question of whether or not the Lakers will be able to pull him from Villanova. Let me know in the comment section below who you think the Lakers should hire.